And I feel really strange because I haven't been sleeping for the past like 2 weeks, and it's starting to mess with me. Well, I mean, it's not like I'm hallucinating yet, right?
Yeah.
But I have been able to manage it. However, like I sat myself down here before the podcast. It was like 12:30, 12:40-ish, and I just completely zoned out for like 5 minutes. And this was like full on, like eyes unfocused, mouth open, just sitting there. And yeah, man, it is tough when you are not getting sleep to like sit here and focus and like make your brain do things. Tough. So here we are.
It's hard when you have sleep.
Indeed, yeah. Here we are. This is episode 104 of the Captain's Log, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 104. Look at that. Cruising right along. My name is Kyle Springer, and I am joined, as always, by Melissa Wilkinson. Melissa, are you sleeping well?
I do tend to sleep pretty well, pretty easy. My roommate has an opposite schedule of me, and she will stay up until like 4, 5, 6 in the morning.
Oh, yeah, that's me right now.
Yeah, but I never hear her, so it ain't a problem. Today I got up real early. I went on a walk, came home, had breakfast, had a shower, curled up in bed, and took a nap, which has been my recent weekend ritual since I don't have things to do or places to be.
Yeah.
Every Saturday, I get up early and I either run the few errands I have to do, like right as the stores open, or I go for a walk before it gets hot. And then I just conk out for a couple hours watching HGTV. So I just woke up from a nap and I'm still a little fuzzy.
So I love naps. I don't feel like I can take naps in the morning. To me, that just feels like going back to bed.
That is kind of what it is. Like I had... Like I shortened my first sleep shift, and then I just get an additional one.
I gotcha.
The sleep part 2 is like basically what it is,
right? Like I can't do early morning naps, and I say that I can't do, but that's more like me trying to manifest that. I shouldn't do late night naps where it's like 9 o'clock or something, and then I sleep for an hour, and then I'm up the rest of that night. Like the best nap
wild. Yeah, I can't.
Has to be early afternoon. That's when the best naps are.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, but yeah. So I've been struggling with the no sleep, and I was going to be recording crossplay this afternoon. We're moving that to tomorrow. So I thought today was going to be a busy day. And so before this, I went down to go get my last can of Mountain Dew. It's one of those little small cans that you used to make fun of me for having. But now I'm like being like, well, maybe I don't need it because I can just get through the Captain's Log and then go take a nap. Like I don't need it. Now it's just like sitting here tempting me, being like, "Hey, what's up? You know you want me."
Well, not to get too inside baseball with behind the scenes talk, but I ain't doing nothing if you want to record that Patreon bonus episode later.
Yeah, we should. We should do that.
Yeah.
We got one more of the Reactor Core Patreon exclusive episodes in which we are reacting to movie trailers, stuff like that. That'll be fun. Yeah, we've been trying to record that for the past couple weeks, but it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah. Our regular recordings keep getting shuffled around to where it doesn't make sense to back anything. But maybe today's the day.
Today is the day indeed. yeah, so besides all of that, how are you? How is Melissa? Sounds good. Sounds good.
Right, emotionally the same, stuck in the same terrifying loops.
Yep.
I bought new tires this week.
Oh man. New tires.
The tires are expensive, Kyle.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Kyle, how much do you think it costs to have 4 tires installed on a vehicle?
I am going to guess, as someone who does not own a car or a license,
this is the game.
400?
No, for me it was 520.
520. Oh, okay. That's kind of in the ballpark that I was expecting, because I was imagining like $100 per tire, around that much, and then maybe
that's about what it is.
Labor on top of that. So yeah, like 500 something at the most, but 400, and I went low with that there. So
yeah, you went bargain basement prices.
Come on down. So
I feel I feel responsible, I guess. My peace of mind is better, I suppose, knowing that one of the tires won't explode or melt or whatever a tire does when it's too old. I don't know. But I have got 6 months to slowly pay this off on my parents' credit card with the car repair place.
Okay. Interesting. Speaking of purchases or feeling like an adult, has this is it's a bad segue, but like has there been something during the pandemic, a small thing, a purchase or a routine or something that you felt like has kept you sane? Or just
I've got my job.
Something small that has made you happy.
I am very glad that I get to keep my work going pretty much as normal. There's been practically no changes to my job, which is good. I watch a movie with Jack like every week. I get to watch a lot of movies with people. I think I do that like 2 or 3 times a week.
Okay, so you're stacking up on movies there. Good stuff. Yeah, I think for me, I have 2 things that come to mind. The most consistent one is my comic book store, because they have been doing a great job of staying open. When they did have to shut down, they did like 1 or 2 people inside the store at a time. They did curbside pickup. They did local delivery. They would ship stuff. But yeah, they've been really, really consistent and super helpful with like, yeah, we'll get you the stuff you need. Just, sit back and we'll deliver it. So that's been really cool.
Nice.
That's been fun. The bookshelf that is behind me on the podcast, I don't know how well you guys can see it, but I have completed it. It is full. Yeah.
Oh. Wow.
So I might have space for 1 or 2 smaller things if I kind of rearrange some things here and there. But yeah, it is full, so I will eventually have to start a new one. And I'm thinking where the TV is to my left here. I guess it's your guys' is right. I want to get like a new bookshelf to put there and put the TV on top of it. I'm thinking of getting a white one. They have so much dark stuff in this room. I need something to like stand out.
Yeah.
So get like a white bookshelf.
Yes.
Put this big old TV on. I'm not using.
I've got 2 TVs and I use them
Like
thoroughly.
I want
every
to be
day.
able to use this one, and I think eventually when the new video game consoles come out, I think I might move my PlayStation 4 into this room.
Is 4 the one we already have, or are they
the
coming out with 4?
On.
I don't know where we're at. Okay, so we're going to get 5.
Season.
What are the other ones? Do a mini crossplay for me, because I don't know where the consoles
Welcome
stand.
back, party people. You are listening to Crossplay, our video game podcast here at the Whatnauts. So right now we are on PlayStation 4. That is the current console.
Okay.
And then Xbox, they have the Xbox One S, the Xbox One X, and then the Xbox One S all digital edition. So it's let's put it this way: the best way to explain it is similar to an iPhone, right? How they have their like iPhone 11, and then they have their like iPhone 11 Max, right? They have their one. It's basically the same phone, but they have like stronger insides, right? So we have a PlayStation 4 and a PlayStation 4 Pro. We have the Xbox One S and the Xbox One X, which is very confusing, and they sound very, very similar.
They should have just made it easier to think of. One above S is T. Welcome to the Xbox One T.
So yeah, the new consoles are coming out. We also have the Nintendo Switch right now, but they're kind of doing their own thing. But PlayStation 5 is coming out this holiday season, and then Xbox Series X is what they're calling their next one. So it's no longer like, well, all right. So it's the technically, if you want to go back to what the Xboxes that are out now are the Xbox One, and it's the like Xbox One X, Xbox One S, all that stuff. They are dropping the one, so this is just the Xbox. Their whole plan is to kind of get away from the actual physical hardware. They have this thing called Game Pass, which is basically Netflix for video games. And so if you sign up and you pay their subscription fee each month, then there's like a big old catalog of games and stuff you can play. All of their like first party titles you can play, day and date that they come out physically and stuff, which is fantastic. But yeah, you can use that on your Xbox, you can use that on your PC, which is what I've been doing. And they, in the background, have been working on something called xCloud, which is basically a streaming service that will enable you to play on your phone or your tablet or stuff like that. So you really don't necessarily need a console with Xbox.
Okay.
That's kind of where we're at right now. PlayStation is very firmly being like, we believe in the next generation. There will be a new console. There will be exclusives for that console that don't work on the old ones, whereas Xbox is much more forward thinking, being like, you don't really need to buy an Xbox. We just want you in our ecosystem. We want you invested in Game Pass. If you have an older console, that's fine. It still works. Like, you can play these newer games on that. Might not be the best graphics, stuff like that, but still use it. Like, there's people out there who are still on the like iPhone 7, right? Like, it still works. You can still download the Facebook app or Twitter or something. It still works fine, but it's just not as powerful, if that makes sense. So that's kind of where we're at right now, all that stuff. Also,
okay.
Hi, Sam. Sam is in the chat right now.
Hi, Sam.
Yeah, the Xbox One Sex is basically. Well, the Xbox Series X is like the Xbox SX. So it's like Xbox sex. They're all digital edition. Was the Xbox One S all digital edition? So it was the Xbox One sad edition. And they have just bungled the marketing on some of that stuff.
I feel like if you need a flow chart to explain how your products
Melissa.
are named, maybe you should not
welcome
have done
to video
this.
games.
Like PlayStation's just like 1, 2. Well, not 1. The PlayStation plain. 2, 3, 4, 5. Simple. Nintendo, no pattern, which means you're not trying to track anything. Xbox, just enough semblance of a pattern for you to think it's going to make sense, and then it does not.
It kind of, I mean, they are working to fix it, and stuff like that. And I have to say they are taking great steps to fix that and clear things up, but it's still just like at the moment it's kind of a mess. Video games, but to circle back around to what we were talking about before that, my comic book store has been one of the things keeping me sane.
Yeah.
Next thing I'm trying to collect is the Death of Superman storyline and all of that stuff. So hoping to buy that up.
Where he comes back and he has a mullet.
90s Superman.
Okay.
But then the second thing that I was going to mention, you said you bought tires. I bought new bed sheets. And this has always been an iffy thing for me because I bought some online previously and I hated them. And I was like, never again will I buy bed sheets on the internet. And
what a very specific grudge.
Damn you, Amazon! No, but yeah, they were like way too thin. They just didn't feel right. They bunched up. They didn't fit exactly. Like they were for a queen size bed, which is what I have. And yeah, it was just not good. And I took a risk buying some on Amazon again because a pair of the bed sheets that I do own ripped. There was like a big old hole in them. And so I was like, all right, well, kind of gotta toss these ones. So I did that, and I bought some like dark red bed sheets, and they turned out fine. I was just like, these are nice. I like these. So I like that has been like the recent one thing I've been like, huh, this is kind of cool. I like this. No more grudge against buying bed sheets on the internet.
I also got new bed sheets recently. I just ordered them from Target and went to pick them up.
That's where
quality purchase.
I was
very glad I did this
because I've bought some from there before and they were fantastic. I like these ones. I want these ones, but a different color now. And they never had the color that I wanted and stuff like that. And I was just like, I don't know what percale means. I don't know the difference between all the thread counts and why is this Egyptian cotton? And I don't know what this means. What does hotel style mean? Aren't all bed sheets the same?
I don't know.
So many options.
Hotel style means it comes with a mint in the package.
It's like buying Chinese food and it has a fortune cookie inside. Like, oh, nice, a treat.
Man, why don't more things come with a fortune inside? Because you have to unpack and like unfold that like brick of bed sheets. You know, they sell them. What if you unfolded all of that and inside there was just a little slip of paper with a nice message for you?
You did it. You get a gold star.
Dear fortune or like a dream affirmation, something for you to dream about. A blessing, a spell.
Yeah, I'm wondering about like cereals and stuff. So I still really like cereal. I don't get cereal all that often.
Yeah.
right now I have a big box of Reese's Puffs downstairs. But remember when toys used to come in cereal boxes?
I still have, like, saying I still have is a bit of a strong statement because this is regarding a movie character that is still quite relevant. I have a plastic color changing Ray spoon I got in a box of something a couple years ago.
Nice. Yeah, I'm sure they still do that, but it hasn't been really in anything I've bought. And I think the things that I have seen recently are more digital things. Like I saw something like, remember like collecting the box tops for your schools? They don't do that anymore. It's like a digital thing. You like scan a code and that's it. I don't know, but then I know they had like a short-lived Mario cereal, like a Nintendo cereal, and Nintendo have these toys called Amiibo, and
I know what an Amiibo is.
So like you would take these Amiibo and scan them in. And they would give you these little extras in your games, like an extra heart or an extra item or stuff. And the box was in Amiibo. Like you could scan in the box and it would give you things in there. So yeah, like I've seen stuff like that where it's just like, hey, scan it in. And there's no like actual toy. Like, wow, you got a Jurassic Park watch in this one. I don't know. Yeah, or like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles shell or something. I don't know.
Ooh, just a shell by itself sounds ominous.
Where did they go? What happened?
Were they bodies? I mean, who took their bodies?
He was a teenager. Maybe they had a growth spurt.
No, the shell grows with them. They're not like hermit crabs.
I don't know how Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles work. They're mutants.
They also seemingly don't. Okay, so Spider-Man, there's like adult Peters. He's mostly teen,
like,
but you can.
That's not how turtles work.
You can find adult Peters Parker out there in the canon. Other teen characters. I think you could run into adult Power Rangers or something. I don't think I've ever seen adult Ninja Mutant Turtles.
Middle-aged Mutant Ninja Turtles.
But, like, considering their lifestyle, what about it is different as time goes on?
I don't know. Would they move out of the sewers into a...
Yeah, they all want separate layers instead of living in one layer together with their rat dad.
I don't know.
That's what I want out of adult Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's just Splinter is ailing, and it's just like a family drama about these four brothers coming back together trying to care for their father.
Oh man. Did you see this GIF going around on Twitter of this bear?
I haven't been anywhere, Kyle.
That's what you do when you're at home with nothing to do. You go on the internet, Melissa.
I just go on Pinterest. That's all I do. Pinterest, everywhere else is too... They don't put GIFs there. It's just like small videos of how to, I don't know, cook an egg or something.
Well, there's this GIF that's been going around. It was a couple weeks ago of this bear that had this, like, I guess it was a piece of food or like a stick or something, but it looked like nunchucks. And he was sitting there like tossing it around, and it looked like nunchucks and stuff. And it was like, oh man, looks like Master Splinter has moved on from the ancient grizzly bear.
Yeah, why doesn't he take in other animals? Does he foster? Does he want rat children of his own?
I think so. I mean,
Did he want
technically
to...
isn't the canon that he was human originally?
Is it? I thought he was just always a rat.
I don't know. I don't remember. That may have been a more recent incarnation, the one on Nickelodeon. Yeah,
he was a man who got turned into a rat. What if that's the origin story of Arthur? What if Arthur is like in a post-apocalyptic world where we all turned into animals, and this is like a couple generations on, where like we
it's Arthur
have,
but
like,
Kafka,
you know, humanoid animal
it's
children.
Arthur but more Kafka.
Or like that, you know, that conspiracy theory that Cars is set in the future and this is what humanity has become. Like, we're not people anymore, we're cars, and that's why the cars have a car pope, because they still have the semblance of human life and society and religion.
Yeah, the anthropomorphic stories are weird for me when you start thinking about them in that way. Like, how did this come to be? Like,
cars?
like cars are just anthropomorphic stuff in general, right? Of like you can take the story Mouse, or if you think of like Zootopia, like obviously those stories are not about like how the world was created or stuff like that. But yeah, like, how was their world created? Like, did they all just like start speaking one day? Like, how did this happen? Who allowed this?
Well, how did we do it, Kyle?
Know, but we did it.
So you don't care how we as humans learn to talk, but you're very concerned about how Zootopia Officer Judy Hopps
we are one
talk.
species, though. Like, in Zootopia, there are multiple species, right? Okay,
so you're wondering if, like, you know, if birds figured it out and then like birds taught it to snakes and to like squirrels and dogs,
or if they all grew from like an older species and then separated out that way, like evolution wise, right? I just blew Melissa's mind.
Like, they all have one common ancestor who's like, I don't know what like the Omni-Animal is.
The Omni-Animal. Half man, half bear, half pig. Man, pig. I don't know. Like, that's the thing that like blows my mind. Like, how do these stories get started? How do these worlds get started with their anthropomorphic stuff? Do you have a favorite like anthropomorphic story?
Oh, Cats Don't Dance.
Never heard of this one.
Very few people have. This was a movie by, I think, Warner Brothers film animation studio in the 90s. And I think like it got like a very small theatrical release. Like, it was really swept under the rug. Not many people have heard of it, but it's been a favorite of mine since I was a little kid. It's beautiful. It's set in like old classic Hollywood where there are anthropomorphic animal people, but they're all like bit players. None of them are stars. It's not starring a horse, but like you will cast a horse as an actor in your film for the bit horse part. Okay. Something like that. And there's this little cat, this cat man who wants to dance. He wants to sing and dance and be a star. Mom. He goes to Hollywood and he's like, I'm here to be... Right. He's like, I'm here to be a star. And all the other animal actors who are all jaded, who are fine living bit part to bit part, are like, yeah, okay, Danny, good luck with that. So it's them versus... He's slowly trying to overcome like the top star of the day, which is this little like Shirley Temple girl. She becomes his rival. Oh, it's just about all these animals becoming movie stars in old time Hollywood. And it's so heartwarming and charming, and the music's amazing.
That's interesting. I think I think for me, there's this one. It's also one that not many people have heard of because it's a comic book, so it's not like a big old movie that has hit the mainstream. It's called Wild's End, and it's an anthropomorphic version of War of the Worlds.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's really, really cool. The artwork is nice. I like it a lot, but it does the thing where, like, in between issues of the comic, it gives you this, like, these extra materials. It's like, hey, here's a newspaper article that is in the town newspaper. Here's a map that the rabbit left to where he thinks all of the like secret outposts are with notes and stuff like that. So yeah, like, it's really, really cool. I have the first volume. I think that there's a second one, maybe a third, I'm not sure, but I've only read that first one. I bought it a couple years back, just kind of on a whim. I think it was on sale at Free Comic Book Day, and I was just like, I'm gonna check this out. And I did, and I was like, "This is really cool. Like, I like this a lot." But yeah,
nice
good stuff.
Cool.
Indeed. Speaking of movies and stuff, though, Melissa, we're getting a lot of movies right now, or like movie news and stuff like that, because Comic-Con is happening right now, which is strange to say because Comic-Con nowadays, the like main one, is mainly movie and TV show news. There is comic book stuff that is announced too, but it gets completely overshadowed by all of that stuff. So we've been getting a lot of, like, this TV show has gotten renewed. I think, like, Amazon's The Boys got renewed for season 3. Even before season 2 got started. Yeah,
people like The Boys.
That's also based off of a comic. I haven't read the book yet, but yeah. And then was it you and me that watched the Dragon Prince, or was that me and Paul?
No, I watched the Dragon Prince with you.
We watched season 1 of that, right? And then I think I ended up watching season 2 on my own. But apparently it has been renewed through season 7, and it's only on season 4 right now, I think. So
wow.
They were like, yeah, we are all
good for them, I guess.
That show, which I remember that one being
nice,
good, because I think some of the creators were also on Avatar: The Last Bender, something. Like that. But then New Mutants has a panel, I think, like 2 days ago, and we got a little bit more new. We got a new trailer. I don't know if it's out to the public yet or not. I haven't really looked.
No, I found it.
Yeah, then it's out to the public and stuff like that. But everyone was kind of speculating, like, why does New Mutants need a panel? Like, I don't know. That seems strange. Like, at this point, you would think they would just kind of put it out and be done with it. And then people were speculating.
No, they deserve a panel after all their years of hanging around in limbo waiting. Give those kids a panel.
But yeah, so people were speculating. Maybe they were giving them a panel so they could announce that they were coming to video on demand. That didn't happen, and in fact, they are doubling down on, we are releasing in theaters in August. And this is like the same week or the week after that Tenet is like, yeah, we're delaying indefinitely. Mulan has been delayed indefinitely. Like, all of these movies that were just like, all right, 2 more weeks. Come on, 2 more weeks, right? Are just being like, all right, fuck it. It's not happening. And so is New Mutants being sent out to die?
Well, something has to be first, and I think like late August, a month from now, is a little bit soon, but something has to be first.
New Mutants, I think, is primed to just go on Disney Plus or something.
I'm sure it will. Maybe like a shortened theatrical release or something like that. It'll be there. Yeah. Within 6 months, we'll all be able to see New Mutants. I just don't
understand, like, why even try and get people out to a theater when Corona numbers are going up in a lot of places and things are talking about shutting down again, which they absolutely should, since it's worse than when we did shut down. But yeah, like I just don't understand that of just like, yeah, we're still gonna open up in theaters. Like I understand the want to do that, but in the midst of all of this, I'm just like, why now? Do it later.
The timeline seems weird. I don't know. Maybe there are like little pockets of communities out there.
It's not as bad in each state, but who knows?
Yeah, somebody in a safe community up in like Montana still deserves a nice trip out to the movies to see an X-Men should they want to.
I don't know. I feel like that's a prime example of a movie that would do great on video on demand.
Maybe it's because of its horror leanings. Like, horror, I think, is a genre that's good in a theater. I think that plays better in a theater than a lot of other genres would.
Yeah. Hey, come to our theater. Experience the horror of possibly catching a deadly disease.
I want to know what I can do to make sure people can go to the movies and feel safe. And I've been doing everything I've been told to do, but we're not there yet. And I keep thinking there's got to be another thing I got to do. Like, if I'm being told I'm doing all I can, but the problem still exists, clearly I am not doing all that I can. And I miss movies. People miss movies.
Yeah.
Do you have any ideas? Because I'm kind of frazzled over here.
Gotta speak up. Gotta be like, hey, stay inside. If you do go out, wear your mask. Don't forget to wash your hands still. That's still happening. Remember when at the start of all of this, when it was just wash your hands a whole bunch, you'll be good, and that was it. And little did we know.
Right, and I'm sorry about it.
Sorry about what?
I don't know. I've just been feeling bad lately. Like, things are still bad, and I thought I was doing enough, and clearly I'm not doing enough. And I've just been looking back at, like, every decision I've made in my life. It's like, you went to college to get an English degree? You didn't go to medical school? You chump.
Now, Sam says it's not your fault, which is true. It is not your fault specifically, but yeah, I mean, like, we gotta speak up. Sam also mentions we have to be prepared for pushback and stuff like that. You know, have to help people see reason. I don't know what else to say, but
I just want to go see No Time to Die. And I stay inside a lot. I stay inside now so that I can maybe go to a movie in November. And I don't like that it's like this.
Once everything clears up, virus is all gone or whatever, we can go see movies again. If your local movie theater did a, like, 24-hour marathon of all of the movies that were supposed to come out during the pandemic all at once, buy your tickets now. Would you do that?
This isn't feasible enough for me to even think about it. They're going to schedule all these movies from different companies. Yeah. They're going to do it all in 20. Who wants to go anywhere for 24 hours and just sit down? Like, that's what we're already doing, is sitting for that much time in a day. I don't want to pay money to go do it.
No, like I want to be somewhere else. Like I want to go sit somewhere else. I want to go sit at a cafe and people watch and bring some comics. I want to go to Chili's and hang out for 4 hours and do nothing, right? But no, like I think if they're absolutely not gonna do some big 24-hour marathon thing, but I think that would be kind of a cool idea. I don't know. I would be interested in that, where it's like, hey, pay $100 and you can see everything that was supposed to come out from Bloodshot to No Time to Die, like all of that stuff, including Wonder Woman and Tenet and stuff like that. I think that'd be kind of cool, just like a non-stop marathon of all that stuff, just like.
Why do we need to marathon things? Have you done like a marathon like that out before? Because I think all I've ever done is I saw like Deathly Hallows Part 1 again before Part 2, and there was like a 3D re-release of the first 2 Toy Story movies, and then they showed the trailer for Toy Story 3.
I haven't done that. I haven't even done like a double feature at a movie theater thing. But I've done stuff at home where I've like binged TV shows before the new season.
So you've only ever seen one movie at once in a theater, and you're already saying, yes, give me 12 movies at once in a theater.
Look, dude, I can go from 0 to 100. No, but like,
okay.
I like the idea of those like Marvel movie marathons that they do. Like it's a neat event, and I think it serves a certain audience that are really enthusiastic about it and stuff, as well as some that maybe don't remember it all and need a refresher. Let's be honest, at those things, you're also taking bathroom breaks, you're going to get food, you're not paying 100% attention to these movies all the time, right? So like in the case of the Marvel movies and stuff like that, I think it's fine as like a refresher and stuff like that. So I like that idea. It'd be a little bit different for watching all new things, right? But I like the idea of just like, let's just make this an event and just like marathon. I think that'd be fun. There's absolutely no point, but it's just like, yeah, it's fun. Let's just do something different, right?
Going out anywhere is enough of a treat. Seeing one movie, seeing any of my friends in real life is a treat. I don't need to be, now sit next to your friend for 24 hours and watch all the movies. That's like, no, we have to pace ourselves. I get one movie.
I guess they do say all things in moderation. Yeah. I don't have much else to say on Comic-Con stuff. Oh, the one thing there is a comic book that we have not covered on the review show at all. I've read like half of it. I've thought about bringing it up for our like monthly series. It's called Invincible by Robert Karkman, same guy who created The Walking Dead. And this is his take on superheroes. And it's a great book, a great comic book. But they've been working on a animated TV show for this for a while. And apparently they just announced that they have cast most of the cast of Walking Dead for Invincible. And I thought that was the strangest news. Like, it's one thing to see, like, a certain director and a certain actor have a good working relationship, right? And they're in one another's movies and stuff like that.
Or like Wes Anderson films where it's like the same different configurations of like 20 people shaken up and put into different time periods.
Is maybe more like what's happening now, but like is like Christopher Nolan and what's his name?
Mm-hmm.
That's in all of his movies.
Tom Hardy?
Yeah.
Michael Caine.
He like to see him in a lot of those same like in a lot of movies directed by the same person. Melissa's still laughing at my
I'm just laughing at like, what if this was how we had to do things now? It's like, yeah, I really like that performance he gives in Pulp Fiction, Christopher Walken. Like, you just repeat their name again in like an imitation of their voice. Not that was anything resembling a Christopher Walken, because I have not heard him say his own name, so I don't know how he would say it.
What if he has a completely different accent for saying his name? Wouldn't that be so weird? He has such an iconic accent. But what if it like that is the gag? Is that whole accent is fake, and whenever he says his name, it's like his normal accent, but it's completely different.
You know what I've been doing lately? Not to break you off track, but speaking of actors' names, I've talked about how I don't know much about James Bond, but I've seen all the Craigs.
Sure.
And I realized I've been doing this long enough, I think we can be on first name basis. So it's like, yeah, I haven't seen all the Bonds, but I've seen all the Daniels.
I've seen all of the Danny boys.
Really excited for... I'm excited for Daniel 5
1,
to come
2,
out.
3, 4, 5, everybody.
And I thought, what if every franchise was named like that?
Come see Daniel in the newest James Bond.
It's like, I was kind of disappointed by how Daisy 3 turned out, but overall, I kind of like this trilogy as an expansion on, the first 3 marks. And then the 3 Ewans, like this was just our key term we referred to everything by.
Yeah, so like it's one thing to see a certain actor and a certain director continue to work with one another. That's fine. I get that it's like, hey, you have a good working relationship. But when it's a whole clique and it's just like, yeah, the entire cast, or like you said, like Wes Anderson, like reshuffling the same like 20 people into different roles. It's just like, I get it that you like these actors, but I feel like you're limiting yourself here, or this just seems odd.
Are the shows, except for being based on the same comic book artist material, are they being worked on by the same people? Because it's not like Robert Kirkman is, I imagine, in the recording
I'm
booth
sure he's like
executive
producer or something, and I'm sure he gives like direction on story and stuff like that. I'm sure he's involved somehow, some way, but like, yeah, I don't think he's writing it
like,
and all of that. Like, he's not writing the Walking Dead TV show.
But like the thing that, we'll use Wes Anderson again as an example. He's the person on the ground working with Bill Murray over and over again, and he casts Bill Murray because he's like, I like working day to day with Bill Murray.
Different.
So to have a live action show and an animated show that are both based on the same man's material, but I imagine have a lot of other different staff among them, like I get that it's like, oh, you like The Walking Dead. Well, here's a lot of your old friends, familiar voices you can hear. But is it like some director being like, yeah, now I'm doing animation voiceover and I still want the same people around me. Bring them back.
I don't know. Like I didn't even really look into it of like what happened there, but it was just the headline of like, they have cast most of the Walking Dead to be in Invincible. Like, this is the same creator's work. This is so weird. It's just the same characters, or the same actors playing all new characters by this time. Strange. But yeah.
I've never seen
Really?
The Walking Dead, but I'm not a zombie person, and I like horror, but like zombies just don't do anything for me. I don't find them exciting in any way. I don't disparage those who do. It's just not my flavor of things. I'll watch vampire or anything. I'll watch the corniest, silliest, most hackneyed vampire thing before I watch a pretty good zombie thing.
Sam, to answer your question, I wonder if Steven Yeun would be Mark. I think he would be the main character. He would be Invincible. But I don't know. I don't know if they've already announced that if he's going to be that, or if he's going to be someone else. But yeah.
The main superhero in Invincible is named Invincible?
Name. Yeah, just like the main character in the Superman comics is named Superman.
Well, yeah, but Invincible does not... That's like something you use to talk about a superhero, or it's part of a longer title, Like, Hulk isn't just called Incredible. It's not like, oh no, here comes Incredible. Even The Incredibles, Mr. Incredible, that makes sense, but just as a single... floating adjective, man. I don't know.
That's his name. He is Invincible. But yeah, it's a really good book. Highly recommend it to people out there. But yeah, that was all Comic-Con stuff that he said he's Mark Grayson. I believe that's the main guy. I think that's his name. Mark Grayson.
Grayson?
Yep, like the dick.
Huh. Interesting.
Grace. Doop. Yep, that's the main character.
I know what he looks like. Like, I've seen this book around, but I didn't know the names of anybody. Isn't this story also like very, very long?
Yeah, it's pretty long. I think it went for like 170 something issues. Which is a good sized run for an independent comic that is not on Marvel or DC. But yeah, it's really, really damn good, because he's not like weighed down by all of the constraints that Marvel and DC would put on, whether that's killing off characters or being too violent, or characters that have sex and have kids and grow up and stuff like that. Superman is perpetually the same age and perpetually on and off and married and then divorce.
Is that one of his powers, though?
Yeah, yes and no. So there is.
Okay.
I don't remember it off the top of my head. There's a paper out there that I remember reading a little bit of back in college on Superman, and it was something about like the problem with Superman is that they want to try and tell a continuous story, where he goes on different adventures and stuff. That suggests that time is passing, that he is aging, or at least the characters around him are, which means that they are going to have to introduce tragedy, right? That he is maybe no longer married to Lois Lane, or maybe Jimmy Olsen dies and passes away. Maybe the Daily Bugle runs out of business. Like, it needs to start introducing that stuff. But if you start introducing that stuff, then the character is no longer what it was. It's no longer Superman. Like, the ingredients that go into a Superman comic are no longer there, and it's something else entirely. And so there's this idea of that, like, each step that Superman takes forward is another step, like, towards his death, of just like Superman getting older or getting married or having kids or stuff. Like, if you're moving him along in life, you're suggesting that at some point he is going to be too old to do this, or will be dead or something like that. But yet they know that also doesn't sell, because having a Superman comic where he's like 60 something and he has kids, right, doesn't necessarily appeal to younger kids that read comics. So you have to like perpetually have to have all of these characters like at their prime and stuff, in which case you're not really progressing Superman, in which case if the story's not progressing and the characters aren't progressing, is books really going anywhere? Are they saying something? Like, it's this like weird conundrum that they're in. I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that, but
yeah, I don't remember what we were talking about
to dwell on your own mortality. Yeah, but strange stuff. Highly recommend Invincible. Go check it out. I've so far only read like half of it. It's a long thing. Melissa, do you happen to know what G4 is?
Yeah, I remember G4. I remember Tech TV way back in the day.
Supposedly, they tweeted out yesterday or the day before teasing that G4 might be coming back.
As how?
I don't know. And I'm a little confused because as fondly as I look back on G4 with nostalgia, all the stories I've heard have not been good. Of just like it was a mess. It was surrounded in sexism and misogyny, and it was just a terrible culture and stuff like that. And yeah, it's a strange thing in a day and age, because I especially with like streaming services on the rise, I don't see TV channels, like new TV channels. I don't really see them taking off as much. It's possible, I'm sure, but a TV channel specifically about video games, don't see happening. There was something else earlier this year that I think had a similar business plan of like, hey, we want to make a channel all about video games, and we're gonna have original programming and all sorts of stuff, and everyone was just like, I don't think this is gonna work. But yeah, so I have a weird relationship with G4 because on one hand, that is what allowed me to watch E3 when I was younger. They would do the live streams of E3. It was also one of the first things that like introduced me to porn.
So I remember this story. Yeah,
there was a show on there. I think it was called Unscrewed, and it was a terrible little talk show. And on one of the bits they had is they would like review different porn websites of like of porn performers. Like, oh, hey, we're today we are looking at Gianna's website. Let's go look at that, and and they would like, okay, here's the loading page. Let's sign in, like blah blah blah, and it would all be censored, right? Because it's on TV, so you can't see a thing. But that was like one of my first introductions to porn. It was really funny. But yeah, like that's the kind of stuff that was on G4. it was just like, I don't know if that's gonna play well today.
Well, I imagine they're not going to just copy paste it onto whatever new platforms we have now. You know, they're going to reinvigorate and modernize and, I don't know, strengthen whatever it was they had before and like clean it up. Like a new version of a bad thing isn't going to be a bad thing again.
Sure.
I know what they're doing.
What you're getting at, but look at all of the discourse around the like reboot of the Ghostbusters film, like all female reboot of the Ghostbusters film. A lot of the people who loved Ghostbusters were like, "Oh, we don't want this," blah 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 blah. And I guess I really shouldn't even say a lot. It was a vocal minority, but still, like, they were very vocal of just like, we don't want it to change, right? And so I think the same thing is gonna be this of like, I mean, video game culture and a lot of the communities aren't very good. Yeah, and so like that plus the nostalgia of what G4 was like, even
how many people are really nostalgic for G4? Because I don't remember the last time I heard. I don't remember the last time I heard anybody.
Well, yeah, because it's been gone for so long. But like, I'm nostalgic for G4. I also recognize how problematic it was and stuff. Like, looking back on that, so I don't necessarily need it. But then, speaking of that, I think it was the channel that I can't remember its name that was also like, hey, we're thinking of starting up our own video game channel. They announced a show this past week, and the two hosts are Dumbfounded, the rapper, and Sasha Grey. And so, like, I'm all for Sasha, like, doing her own thing and stuff like that. But it's like, in the back of my mind, like, that's the marketing they're going for. Like, hey, you've seen Sasha do plenty of different things. Maybe come watch her talk about video games, because I know she streams on Twitch now too. So, like, on one hand, good for her for getting all of that stuff, but it's like, I know they're banking on that of like, hey, we can get guys to watch this if Sasha is hosting. It's like, is that really the kind of culture you want to like work on? I don't know. Seems strange to me. I don't know. Weird times that we're in, Melissa. Weird times.
Every week you do Melissa. This. What? What's one thing I could do this week to make times less weird for you next week?
It is not your personal undertaking to fix this. Oh man, that's great. I don't know. I don't have much more to talk about this week. We are looking for new hosts on crossplay. Speaking of video game content and stuff like that, we've been putting out the call. I've been talking with a few people that have responded and reached out and stuff like that. So yeah, we are looking for we're looking for new hosts in general, just for like the review show, for here on the Captain's Log and stuff like that. But yeah, we're especially looking for more people on crossplay to help host that show. We'll see what happens with that down the road. Fingers crossed we can find someone. I do want to warn people who might be out there listening to this that I'm probably going to be very picky on some things. But yeah, if you're willing to put in the work, that is like bottom line all that I can ask for right now. But yeah, we'll see what happens. So
yeah, good luck with that.
Hopefully we can get some more voices and stuff like that on these shows. I think it'll help add some variety. It'll be good, and I think it will take some of the burden off of my shoulders, especially, but just our shoulders in general, to be like, hey, if you're sick or you're not feeling well, you can take a week off, and other people can keep the show going and stuff like that. We don't have to be like, okay, guys, no show this week. We'll be back next week. You know, we can actually keep the shows going, because being on 3 weekly shows is kind of tiring. I'll be honest. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, you're recording 4 podcasts this weekend.
I mean,
I'm living on Easy Street and only recording 3.
I enjoy it, and I enjoy the amount of content we put out. Like, I'm not getting burnt out, but if we had a 4th weekly show, there's no way in hell that I would be able to keep up with all of that stuff. So, Sam, yes, I heard something about a Nintendo leak. I haven't looked into it yet, but we're going to be recording crossplay tomorrow, actually. So I will have looked into it by then. Something about Super Mario World and Yoshi's Island prototypes. Was this the thing that Yoshi's Island was like made in Super Mario World or something like that? I think I saw Emron Khan talking about that online. I don't know, but yeah, it's good. I'm excited that we at least have some people responding and stuff like that, because some, like, when you're a small time creator and you don't have much of an audience, it can be difficult to spread the word and get people to interact and respond. It can be like pulling teeth, and on one hand that can be very disheartening, and on the other hand, that's just part of it. Like, you have to put yourself out there, and you have to grind and be like, hey, go to my Patreon, hey, go check out this, hey, go. You have to just like sell everything. That it just comes with the territory. Yeah, so there you go. Melissa, did you have anything else that you wanted to chat about or do stuff like that, or should we cut things short?
No, my week's really boring. Like, I just work all the time. I watch a lot of movies. I just feel bad about things, and then I show up here, and I only have mundane news like I bought tires.
Think about the stuff you watch, the movies you watch, or stuff like that, and try thinking of that as a jumping off point to start a discussion. Does that movie have some kind of existential question? Can you ask that on the podcast? Yes, you can. Was it an anthropomorphic film? What is your favorite anthropomorphic film? You can find so much discussion stuff within mundane things, of just like waiting in line at Starbucks and noticing something out the window. Like, it's possible to find stuff out there. It's a challenge. Sometimes I can find some great things, and then sometimes I'm just like, I got nothing. I'm sorry. I got nothing.
Well, I watched A Knight's Tale again last night for the first time since I was like 13. I'm like, I think this movie's right. Well, this is how I've been feeling about it for like the last 17 years. It's like, I think that movie's pretty good. Like, I've got a fond but very, very blurry picture of it in my mind. And so me and Jack watched it last night. I'm like, oh, this is good. It is good. Thank goodness. She'd never seen it. And I'm always worried, like, Oh yeah, I love this movie. I loved it when I was a kid. Like, what if it's just dull, or what if it doesn't play anymore? But it went fine.
Hold up. I have to say something I did not expect to see. So I finished Mr. Robot season 4. We're going to be talking about that on Sunday when we record the review show. But there's a scene in there, without spoiling a thing, there's a scene in there where a certain character is watching Land Before Time. And I did not expect to see that at all. And I was just like, oh my God, yeah. Like, he's watching Land Before Time and getting high. This is amazing. And that's the thing. Like, I don't remember those movies enough to know which one is which. So I don't know if he was watching Land Before Time 1 or Land Before Time 28. But he was watching one of them. So funny.
Did Littlefoot ever grow up, or is he in a Superman predicament?
He might be Littlefoot forever. I mean, someone else already has the job of Bigfoot, so.
Right. Yeah, who cares about somebody named Mediumfoot? That sounds like it just sounds like you've got one leg that can see the future.
Okay. I'm like thinking of like someone who has a mutation where their foot has like a mouth on the bottom of their foot, and it just like speaks in these like prophecies, these like oracle like prophecies. If they just like take off their foot and like peel off their dirty gem socks, you hear like, that's better. Okay, now let's get on with the prophesying, you see.
I feel like I've seen there's like an anime with somebody who has like a cursed hand, and like the hand is a evil spirit inside it or something. I don't think I've seen Foot. Yeah,
like
I don't think I've seen Foot.
Movie about the
I've not
vagina
seen Bad
with the
Foot.
teeth in it. Teeth, yeah.
It's just called Teeth.
It's that.
Did the vagina have a malicious spirit attached to it?
Oh, that's one of the things I don't want to see in life. Speaking of things that shouldn't have teeth, there was some fish going around the internet. Well, yeah,
fish do have
was
teeth.
A species of fish that someone found that had a human-like mouth and human-like teeth. And it was weird.
What? Fish with human face? Oh, that's just Seaman.
I don't know what that is.
Oh,
she found it.
Yes. These look like the Halloween store prop, like hillbilly teeth.
Yeah, they do. Nightmare fuel.
What does it eat? Does it eat what we eat?
It has some Reese's Puffs for breakfast. It has a Mountain Dew Code Red at lunch. It has a.
Here's I googled fish with human face. So I'm like, yeah, Seaman. No, there's some like catfish or something that has it's a carp that has markings on it that look like a human face.
It
is
looking at
eerie
that now. Yeah, that's nightmare fuel.
Now I'm gonna Google Seaman just so that Google knows somebody's thinking about Seaman. There he is. See, I don't know anything. Like, this is my level of interaction with video games. I don't know anything about, like, actual contemporary cultural important things, but I do remember Seaman.
It's this, like,
I think this is what my time with
G... With, like, the man's face? No, I
know Seaman.
Don't.
Okay. This was a Dreamcast game where it was a fish with a human face, and it was kind of a virtual pet kind of deal. And the game was narrated by Leonard Nimoy. So with his calming Spock voice, he would tell you, like, feed Seaman, speak to Seaman. I think it had like a microphone interaction where you could talk to Seaman. He would interact with you.
Do that.
Right. But hey, you fish with human face. I think this is what my time with G4 gave me, is that I gained no interest in like ongoing video game,
but like weird video game cryptids.
Playing them. I don't play. Right. Yeah. All I know is video game cryptids. I just know like Seaman and I know like Superman 64. I know the Aquaman game. I know weird legends. I know lore about video games, but not what is actually happening. An hour ago where I'm like, what PlayStation are we on?
The only thing I remember about Dreamcast, I never had one, but the only thing I remember was Crazy Taxi. Like, that is the Dreamcast to me. Only game that I remember. Weird. That's a nightmare. Seaman.
What? Oh, he's a man, and he needs your help. Care for Seaman. Oh. He needs you.
No.
I can't raise 2 seamen on my own. I'll take care of all the seamen that don't have people taking care of them. I'll have a Seaman refuge. I'll foster Seaman.
Okay. I say we wrap things up right there. Enough Seaman. Enough of that. Melissa, where can the people find you on the internet?
God, he's not smiling in any of these pictures.
If I wonder what Seaman, I don't know if I would be smiling either.
What can I do to... so I Googled Seaman smiling, and I'm finding a bunch of pictures of some guy named Ryan Seaman. I wanted the fish. I want to see if the fish can smile. I want to know, like, what cheat codes do I enter... what cheat codes do I enter to make Seaman smile? Because he looks awfully dour. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Wilkywit. That's WILKYWIT. Let me know if you know how to make Seaman smile.
My name is Kyle Springer. You can find me at Kyle Springer on Twitter and Instagram. If you guys want to stay up to date with our shows, we are on Twitter at the Whatnauts. Go like, share, subscribe, sell your soul, tell a friend, tell a foe. I think we're sitting at 82 subscribers on YouTube now. Moving up in the world. Slowly but surely.
The number is going up. Slow. Yeah. Indeed. Yeah. Kyle, I do have an additional surprise. Not a surprise. It's the thing we talked about last week. I found my high school graduation party caricature of myself. Where I am riding a unicorn and holding an Emmy Award. And it does not look like me. And it also doesn't not look like me. It just looks like all-purpose 18-year-old girl.
There you go.
So enjoy.
Good stuff. So... with that being said, we are going to get out of here. Last bits of housekeeping, though. If you guys did not know, we have multiple podcasts here at The Whatnauts, so go check out our website, thewhatnauts.com, or type in The Whatnauts on your favorite podcasting platform of choice. If you guys like what we do, patreon.com/thewhatnauts is where you can support us for as little as $1 a month. The $3 tier gets you all of our exclusive content for all of our shows. Go check all that stuff out. It sounds like Melissa and I might record that last little bit of the Reactor Core exclusive content today. So be on the lookout for that in the future. And of course, a big shout out to our Patreon supporters at the $5 tier. So thank you, Sam, for helping us out. Sam has been here in the chat with us. As she usually is. And in fact, another shout out to Sam, because she was on the Whatnauts review show this past week and helped us to talk about the anime movie Promare. So if you guys have seen that, might want to go check it out. But with that, I think that wraps us up for housekeeping. We will get out of here. We will be back next week. I think that is it. Until then, bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for checking out our podcast. We hope you enjoyed that one as well. I know it was a little bit of a shorter one, but that's okay. Sometimes it's good to just get done and move on. That being said, we still have tons more content, so go subscribe to our channel, which is right up here in this corner. Go subscribe to one of our videos right down there in that corner. I guess you don't subscribe to a video. Go watch one of the videos right down there, and leave a comment down below as well. That would help us out a ton. Thank you much for watching. We will see you guys next time. Bye.